encouraging way to start your day. It is Rob and Liz. This morning, a special guest is along with us. She is Laura Story, homebred from the Carolinas.
Aw, y'all are so sweet.
Got the new song called Hello Unknown. You'll be hearing about that coming up in just a little bit. And she's the author. Got a brand new book, So Long Normal, Living and Loving Free Fall of Faith. And I'm so curious at the bottom of this book on the cover. Is that you ziplining somewhere?
Okay, so that's ziplining somewhere.
Yeah.
That's actually not me, but they made me zipline. There's a Bible study that goes with it, and there's like the video teaching, and they made me do it for the teaching. Because I talk about just the analogy of faith being so much like taking that step. But the truth is that we're tethered to something way stronger than our circumstances. So but the funny thing was is when I actually did it for the video, oh my gracious, it was a tough I'm not a big
adventure person kind of thing?
I like adventure. I just don't like heights.
You don't like heights.
I respect gravity.
Speaking of gravity, Lizz's Ugly Bakery, it might not look pretty, but it tastes great.
I think it looks beautiful.
It's way yellow, I will tell you. It's more yellow than it's supposed to be, but it's a pineapple cake. So I hope you like pineapple.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Well, I've never had pineapple cake. I
hadn't either. But you know when you go to Disney, the Dole Whip that you buy?
Yes.
That's what it's based on.
Yeah, and you are the second guest artist and author to partake in Lizz's Ugly Bakery.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah, so it's a high honor.
It really isn't. I feel very honored.
You should.
The first one did not go well, but I have high hopes for this one.
So what was the first one?
A chicken pie.
Oh.
But it
from
was
Ireland. And so Darren, who's from Ireland, never heard of it and wasn't really a fan of it.
He said,
but he was nice.
This is bad.
And he's from Ireland, so he doesn't have like the southern grin and bear it
That's
manner.
right.
Bless your heart.
This is great.
Still was charming.
Yeah.
So this is a lemon what?
It's pineapple.
Oh, pineapple.
Hey, I like y'all's style having cake for breakfast.
I know.
Why
right?
not? You know?
But
so
it's pineapple curd.
Okay.
Pineapple icing, pineapple cake.
just so Laura knows.
I'm sorry, tell me one more time. The curd, what is the
Pineapple curd.
What does that mean?
It's almost like, it's a cross between pudding and jelly.
Okay.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I'm thinking bean curd.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Oh.
got it.
Oh.
I'm in.
Okay, so Laura knows we do the taste test.
Yes.
Jake and TJ from our video department does the testing. What Laura doesn't know is that TJ has not liked any of Lizz's Ugly Bakery.
Year and a half, nothing.
None of them.
Oh, that's
It's been a tough go.
So do I try it now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and try it now.
Everybody take a bite.
Yeah. We might as well get the bad part out of the way and see what
I
TJ
know.
thinks of it.
Whatever, dude.
This is fantastic. This is great.
What are you thinking, TJ?
Seriously?
Are you okay, TJ?
I don't. I'm sorry, Liz.
Oh, come on.
That just ain't good.
Okay,
It just ain't good.
see?
And you said he's one of your interns?
But
No.
not a friend. I'm just kidding.
He's full-time here every day.
Staff.
Yeah.
But he works for you, right? Like, I think he probably needs to show a little more appreciation for your cake here.
Jake, what did you say? What'd you think?
I like it.
See?
Mouthful.
Mouth is still full.
Yeah, it's
Very full.
fantastic.
That's a
I
good
have
sign.
The perfect amount of flavor in my mouth. It's perfect.
you.
It's
Well,
perfect.
hey, look at that.
Right? You
And
like
then-
it?
I do. I will say that I like the flavor. It's not as fluffy as other cakes might be.
Well, there's
Right.
a reason,
No,
isn't
There's a
there?
reason.
There's a reason.
So I had the cake in the oven, and I looked around like my counter space, and I'd left out an ingredient that was supposed to make it more
A
fluffy.
little. You left out the fluffy.
The
Got
sour
it.
cream.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the sour
I
cream
guess-
would have lightened it up a little bit.
See,
Yeah, but it's still very good.
Thank
I didn't
you.
know you put sour cream in cake.
Not all cakes,
I mean,
but
you
some.
can, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, baked potato, yeah, but cake,
Eggs,
Oh, sour cream cake.
tacos.
Yeah, cheesecake.
tacos, whatever. It's all there.
You're lucky you didn't get guacamole.
Yeah. I think this is great, Liz.
Thank you very much.
See, I knew it.
Yay!
Laura Story spending time with us this morning. It's His Radio.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Laura Story spending time with us this morning on His Radio. Okay, I understand that when you do worship, it's like the Pied Piper. Animals start showing up, like geese.
What?
geese.
It's happened.
For real?
Yeah. Geese showed up, and then was this an attack? I mean, what was going on with the geese and you
My
leading
gracious.
worship?
Where'd you guys find this stuff? Every time I come to the station, I feel like you're like, well, we were just reading your diary the other day. Like, I feel like
We're
you
actually
guys
in your head.
yeah. So this was actually, I'm not even, am I leading worship? I can't tell.
You are.
Yes.
Okay, so that's my group of worship leaders that I get to like invest might be too strong of a word. I do like worship leader development at my church.
That's great.
And so but I like to take them out of the building, just like to get out in the middle of nowhere. I say middle of nowhere. This is actually on our property at the church, and we just have this beautiful garden area.
And the geese always hang out.
Oh yeah, well the geese have actually been a big problem at the church. We're still trying to figure that out. We're like, yeah, we want people to come to our church, just not you, you terrible geese.
Stay out in the water somewhere
They're
and
like,
lay eggs.
Oh, we have the kids program. They're like running after the kids, trying to peck them or whatever.
Yeah, and the kids get a little freaked out. But
Exactly.
So speaking of kids, you have 4 kids.
I do have 4 kids.
Right.
8, 6, 6, and 3.
Because you have twins.
Yes.
Oh my. So how do you? Because I know you travel with them a lot. How do you keep them entertained and keep them happy and smiling?
I thought you were going to say, how do you keep them?
No.
How do you keep-
How do you keep track of them and don't leave them places?
Because I think you have some tricks to make them smile and happy.
Like you'll open the fridge and get out a can
and
of.
grab a little something right here.
Oh,
to make 'em.
that's what I'm saying. You guys find these videos. Oh.
No, wait, who is this in this
I
video?
think that's Timmy. Yeah, because my 4th, that's the only one that I would actually, actually spray whipped cream into his mouth. That 4th child ends up getting the special
all
treatment.
the good stuff. But you have
Yes.
a can of whipped cream and you're just spraying it straight in his mouth.
I know. You guys are finding like my worst parenting moments. And
That's a great parenting moment.
That is something that he will remember for the rest of his life. How cool
oh my
his
gracious.
mom is.
That kid needs a haircut. I'm looking at I was like, is that my girl? Nope, that's the boy.
He's so sweet.
I know. So we have been probably, I guess it's been almost a month now that we've been on the road, and like today's our last day of traveling around. So I have a new book out, and which you referenced earlier, but I had this idea like during quarantine when I was writing this book, I'm going to hand deliver the first like few hundred copies to all of our radio station ministry partners, and I still think it was a good idea. But like when you're in your house and you're stir crazy, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah.
So we've put about 6,000 miles on the van. All the kids
In a
loaded
month.
up and went for a month, and we've been everywhere from. We started in Atlanta, had Dallas, hit all the stations on the way there, up to Colorado, and then over to New Jersey, and we're on our way back.
How many Cheerios are in the back seat?
Our van reeks of like smelly socks and Cheerios and Cheetos.
Oh, that's awesome.
What
And-
about the fries?
I love it.
The fry. Actually, we haven't done as much fry. We're trying to be good.
Good for you.
Trying to be good, even though I feel like a trucker. I feel like I should get my CDL license or something. Well, we've been putting some time in the car, but the kids have really been great, and I feel like it's like our so with Timothy, he's just like peeing in pools across America.
Right in the hotels.
He's just peeing in those hotel pools.
Those quality inns, I'm telling you.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
You were talking about traveling the country with your kids in tow.
Yes.
Got to be a little bit stressful.
Oh, no, not at all.
Not at all?
No, just kidding.
Okay.
No, it really is. Yeah, there definitely were moments. I think a lot of it is just, man, the planning, making sure that we're planning
Sure.
some stops, do
Yeah.
something fun, burn off some energy.
Right. But when you get home, how do you de-stress? Like, I think maybe you get foot rubs from your family every now and then. How do you get your husband and your kids to rub your feet?
Man, you guys are digging deep here. Like, these are like archive pictures. This is so sweet. Actually, my husband, so he was out with us for a week of the trip,
Yeah.
just a week of the month, because he has work. That was his excuse. He came out when we were in Colorado and like in the Rockies and beautiful, but when it was time like to head back through like Oklahoma and everything, he was like, "No, I think I'm good. I think I'm just gonna go back. But yeah, he will be very asking how he can help. Because we get home tonight, so we've been gone.
Yeah, forever. Yeah.
Yeah, very
And so,
long
yeah,
time.
probably some foot rubs, probably some back rubs. He's really sweet.
Well, his face is not into it as much as his spirit. I think he's like, oh my goodness, I'm rubbing.
And by the way, I would never ever ask him to do that. I'm not a big foot rub. He likes foot rubs. I'm not a big foot rub person.
So he's leading by example.
Yeah.
Yes, or manipulation. Like,
whatever
maybe
works.
if
Something like
I
that.
do this, she will reciprocate.
So what is this I hear about you, like before you go into a concert, that you have to play basketball? I mean, is this a thing? What is this?
It's just like makeup. Oh my gracious! I can't believe that you. So we. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, little known fact about musicians: we aren't always the most like athletic. I'm just kidding. It's not a little known fact. Most people know that about us. But,
Okay, there you
but
go.
seriously, on the road, we're in the van, we're in airplanes, and so a lot of sedentary, and then we get there and they're like baking us cakes and stuff. And
Oh,
so
yeah, all the
we
big,
gotta
nice
have-
food.
So we said we got to have at least one activity a day. So sometimes it's throwing frisbee, sometimes it's just, hey, we're taking, we're going to run 3 laps around the building, like whatever it is. But whenever they have a gym, we'll usually get everybody out there to play a little
Do
ball.
a little pickup basketball.
Yeah,
huh?
we're not very good at it, but
No?
Doesn't matter. You're having fun.
no, not at all.
Do you even make a basket?
I mean, not really. Not really. That's not the point. It's not the point. It's
Well, you have to
effort.
make points.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
That is
Right?
kind of the point of the game.
Well, it's not
isn't
like
it?
it's not like we're like
No.
in a league here or something.
You're just
You
trying to-
should be. There should be some kind of league for this.
Okay, a musician's
Right?
league.
Musicians League.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I have to get some tall artists to
guitarists
join my
over
Yeah.
here,
to join-
drummers over there.
Yeah.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I'm so glad that you're with us this morning because you get to see Laura Story on His Radio today. And literally, the cameras are up and going on His Radio TV, Apple TV, Roku, HisRadio.com, and the My His Radio app. And Laura is unplugged. I understand that when you travel, your kids are always with you. They seem to be
Yes.
always with you. And I
It
love
does
how
seem
you.
like that they're always with me.
They are. Yeah,
It is good. Yeah, most of the time. Every now and then I think, like when I'm like just using the restroom and you see their fingers come under the door, mommy, and I'm
Been
like,
there.
I just want like 90 seconds.
Or even up on stage with playpens,
Yeah.
right?
Why are you putting your babies in a cage?
Okay, so my violinist, she has a daughter that's 3 months older than my youngest, and it's the onstage baby cage. That's what we call that. That's our kids hanging out in the onstage baby cage.
And they're like
Okay, that's literally yes. I thought for a second that was me. That was one of my kids, and I was like, I don't remember actually putting them in a
Putting them
cage.
in a
Not in a
kennel.
real cage.
You're gonna like have the authorities come knocking on the door here.
Hello. Laura Story with us this morning on His Radio Unplugged.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's hear this.
All right, you asked for a medley.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just play 2-3 songs people might know
Okay.
of mine.
Oh,
Does that sound good?
Oh, please.
Yeah, this is my very, very first song that anyone other than like my mom had heard. How about that? From the highest of heights to the depths of the sea, creation's revealing your majesty. From the colors of fall to the fragrance of spring, every creature's unique in the song that it sings, and all exclaiming, one I wrote, but the very first one that I recorded it and the radio stations ever played is "Everyone Needs Compassion, a love that's never failing. Let mercy fall on me, and everyone needs forgiveness, the kindness of the Savior, the hope of nations. Savior, He can move the mountains. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save forever. Author of salvation, He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave. Yeah.
Laura Story with us this morning on His Radio. Thank you for the time.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. It's always a treat to get to come back to the upstate and see you guys.
So Long Normal is the book, a brand new song that is Hello Unknown. A little bit about the song?
Oh, yeah. Well, honestly, the book and the song are all about how do we find peace and security when normal has left us, or even when God calls us to leave normal. And I wrote it during the pandemic, and it was me searching the scriptures of seeing, like, how do I handle, what does faith look like when my life is so severely disrupted? But what I found is story after story of God calling his people on adventures that begin with the disruption and the leaving of normal. So it's Bible stories about that. It's, when I write a book, it's never like this, I have mastered these truths, I'd like to impart them to you now. It's always just inviting people to kind of read along as I'm learning, as I'm in process. So yeah, I'm hoping it's encouraging to other people as well.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Well, thinking about how long you've been playing these
On
gigs,
this earth.
these shows.
You're calling me old. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, believe me, I'm older than you. But, you're on stage that very first time.
Okay.
Like, do you remember what was happening, what was going through your head that very first time on stage?
Oh my gracious. You
How
guys
old?
went there.
How old?
You
Yeah.
really went there.
Were you 9?
You're how
Okay.
old here?
So it was my best friend in elementary school, Erin Paris. She and I sang in the Ringer Singers at First Baptist Church, Spartanburg.
Okay.
And we were asked, I'm going to get this wrong. It was like the 150, what is it? The sesquicentennial?
Sesquicentennial?
Yeah,
Is that
that-
150?
nailed it.
Okay.
Did I really?
Yeah, sounds great.
Princess, bless you.
Yeah, Gesundheit.
General. But we got asked to come on stage and sing with Cliff Barrows, which nowadays, back then I don't think I realized how big of a deal that was. But this guy, was so influential in Christian music and in church music. So yeah, we got up in front of a lot of people and sang "Count It All Joy," and that was my very first performance in front of a large crowd.
And you were how old?
I'm looking at the bangs and the kind of crooked teeth. I'm gonna guess. Maybe 10.
That's what I was thinking. 10
10,
or
11 years
something
old,
like that, yeah.
maybe even 12. Cliff Barrows, by the way, if you don't know, was the guy who directed the choir at all the Billy Graham crusades.
Yes.
He opened the crusade. He closed the crusade. He was the voice in all the television and radio shows that they did with Billy
so you
Graham.
think about he led before, like Chris Tomlin, worship leader. He was the worship leader for probably has led millions of people in worship.
Really big deal.
But here's the kicker that you can tell from the picture a little bit. Because it was the 150th birthday, they wanted us to dress like the very first.
Like 1800s
Yeah, like
type.
kind of Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, no
kinda.
way. I wish
So-
we would have got that part of
I
it.
know. So
No.
you can kind of see the edge of my friend's bonnet. And you're probably thinking, why is she wearing a bonnet? Why is she wearing a floral bonnet? Well, now it's like, why were we wearing bonnets? And but you can almost tell. My mom had made me like this hot pink taffeta Little House on the Prairie, look like with
Hobby Lobby type.
Yes.
Not Hobby Lobby. Hobby whatever her name was.
No, kind of Laura Ashley, but like
gotcha.
way back, like with one of those doily things around my neck, collar. Yes,
That's wild.
Little House on the Prairie style, definitely.
I don't know if you know this about Laura Story. Laura Story's along with us, but you're a Grammy winner, right?
I am.
Yeah.
They just gotta give those things out to anybody.
I kind of want to relive the moments of the Grammy performances, and of you being at the Grammys, because you were literally there.
Take yourself back.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, I really want to recreate the moment that you were sitting at the Grammys. So I'm going to give you your program that you had at the Grammys.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you'll even notice you're featured in that Grammy book, if you would. And
if you open it.
we're missing something really...
It's fairly
Hold
empty.
on.
But
We're missing another element.
No.
Here's your Subway sandwich. So if you would, take your Subway sandwich. Okay, and if you, what did you do at your first Grammys?
Okay,
Please.
Let me explain a little bit here. So, I was nominated for the Grammy. I was pregnant at the time. I've never been to the Grammys. I barely even watched the Grammys. I didn't know whether all I knew was that we had to be there from like 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Okay? That is a long time for a pregnant woman to go without food.
Right.
So on the way there, we went by Subway and got like a footlong and stuffed it in my purse.
How'd you get a footlong in those little bitty pocketbooks that you take?
Oh, no. I didn't do the little pocketbook. My husband's...
You had the satchel.
Yeah, I have like a satchel.
Okay, so what if you would show,
now that
recreate if you would.
I was the only person with a satchel at the Grammys.
So if you would, pick up your program, and how did you consume your sandwich?
Well,
during the Grammys as they're live,
During the Grammys, yes. Well, first of all, I mean, I wasn't like Katy Perry or anything. It's not like there was a camera on me. No one was really paying attention to what the little South Carolina Christian artist was doing. But yeah, I just kind of peeled the wrapper back, and every now and then while there was thunderous applause, I'd be like, yeah.
That's great.
Look, you didn't want to get angry.
I think it's so impressive that you guys have props here.
Yeah, that's a real Subway sandwich, by the way.
It is.
So are y'all like, is this the theme of the show? Like Laura reliving her most embarrassing moments?
Oh, yeah. Laura Story.
This is really...
this is your life.
Yeah. We hope we
remember your teacher from Sunday school back when you were...
She's here, by the way.
Come on in.
With all of your pens.
Knowing you guys, that y'all probably did that.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
There are some people that make special meals for their pets and their dogs. I've never done this.
You've never?
No, it's always the dog food.
Oh.
There'll be a treat every now and then, maybe a table scrap from time to time. I know that sounds pretty mean now that it comes out loud of my mouth.
No, I don't think it's mean at all. It's just something that, some people decide to do. I have scrambled eggs for my dogs.
Never.
I have a sister-in-law who boils a chicken, and I don't know how often she boils it.
For the dog?
Oh, yeah, that dog is spoiled.
Never.
Oh, but a lot of people do.
Evidently more people than what I thought do this.
Yeah, so they not only buy their dog sweaters, shirts, little jackets, rain boots, I don't know, but they cook special meals for their dogs.
Yeah, I was reading that birthday's a big thing. So a meal on the birthday for the dog. Coming home from a long trip, if they haven't seen the dog in a while, special meal for the dog.
Or a souvenir for the dog. Yeah.
I've never, we'll bring home maybe a toy or something like that.
Oh, yeah, see?
Or a bone or something like that, but not make a meal. It's not like we don't put out the plate and the forks and the knives and the fancy napkins.
Well, if that happens, I want to see that. They're using forks and knives. No, we've typically I will make scrambled eggs if I'm getting I've run out of dog food. And then I'm like, oh, I got to get to the store.
I guess I can see that.
Right, because you got to find something that's not going to hurt their tummy or mess up the digestive system, because that's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be an interesting conversation this morning if you do that. 800-447-7234. They look beautiful. They smell horrible. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
They do. I absolutely love these trees to see, not to smell. But starting October 1st in South Carolina, 2024, by the way, you got a couple of years, but 2024, you're not going to be able to buy Bradford pear trees anymore. They're banning the sale.
I can understand. Number one, they do not stay up long. If there's a bad storm, they fall over.
They do.
I mean, and they split in two and all that other stuff.
I mean, the limbs just split as though I walked out and went, I mean, that's how weak they seem to be.
Very, very weak. And so it's damaged some houses.
Right.
There was, in the neighborhood that I just moved out of a year ago, that there was several Bradford pear trees in everybody's front lawn. And then when storms come through, one by one, you know, year
get
by
picked
year,
off.
they get picked out there by the storm.
Well, and that's what it is. You know, they've been around. They were really brought to the South, I guess, in the 1950s. So they've been around for a long, long time. So they've done a lot of damage in their lives. But I guess the state of South Carolina said, we've had enough.
Well, and I can't stand the smell of those things.
They
do look beautiful. They're a beautiful looking tree.
when they bloom, and they're just, yes, they're gorgeous. So I'm going to miss that. But yeah, I won't miss the smell, nor, thinking my next door neighbor's tree is going to fly into my window or something.
Right?
The next
I
door.
know.
Yeah.
But that's in South Carolina, and they're banning by when? 2024, you said, right?
2024. I think South Carolina is the second state to do this. I want to say Ohio was the first. And so maybe it's a trend. I don't know.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I don't know if you're going to walk off to a roller coaster,
Nope.
if you're going to try to get to one of the shows, if you want the buffet at first. I don't know what it is, but when you win the tickets to Dollywood from His Radio, I mean, come on. Game on, because we're giving them away all summer long with Get Out this summer. It's Rob and Liz.
Yeah, it's your choice. I would go to the water rides absolutely first.
No, why?
I love the water rides.
But you're going to be soaking wet the rest of the day.
You don't bring a change of clothes?
Not first thing.
Oh, I do. I
Not
do.
first thing. Well,
Yeah.
now, when you say water rides, are you talking their Splash Country?
Yeah. Oh, no.
You're
like
talking
the
about
log
the-
ride and the whatever the big round thing.
I'm not
kinda-
going to be all wet the rest of the day. You're doing it backwards. You do that at the end of the day.
Well, I don't do roller coasters, so that's about the only thing I can.
And see, here's what I don't get. So Liz will go on a log ride that has just about the same elements except for water that a roller coaster has. I mean, they bring you up, they
Right.
bring you down.
Right.
That's the same thing as a roller
the
coaster.
water
Roller coasters
kinda-
is a little faster.
The water kind of breaks the fall a little bit. I don't know. I've always loved the water rides.
No, and then it's all over you and you're sticky. She's doing it all wrong.
No, I'm not.
She does not know the proper way to spend a day at Dollywood.
Well, you lay it out for me. You write me a list with no roller coasters, and then we'll.
No, the roller coasters
talk.
are in it. I'm
Well,
sorry, because
okay.
you have to do a roller coaster. Anyway,
Not my list.
I don't know what Liz is thinking about. You know how to spend your day at Dollywood. You know how to win the tickets, and the backyard movie kit and the popcorn maker goes along with it. You'll have that for the rest of your life until it breaks on you. And that's not going to be until 80 years from now.
Right.
So text the word outside, 800-447-7234, hisradio.com, and tap on the
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Merrick is a preschooler, and now he's a deputy.
What?
An honorary deputy for a day. This happened in Polk County in Florida. The sheriff's office got wind of little Merrick. Merrick's been on quite the journey. For 6 months, he's been battling cancer. So he's been in for radiation and chemo treatments. And to be a preschooler going through that,
That's hard.
that is horrible. That is horrible. His little body. So anyway, he's got high spirits. And so for a day, his mind was taken off of all of that. They gave him the deputy uniform. I'm talking badge, the belt, everything.
Really?
Oh man, he had the pins and the collars and the handcuffs. And he had a walkie-talkie. He had everything. He could communicate the whole thing. And so, rides in helicopters and stuff like that. He was the honorary deputy for a day. The sheriff's office got wind of him, and his teachers at his school really wanted to make this dream come true for him, and it did.
Oh, and in the middle of everything that he's going through, to have that day of just one thing after another. I mean, getting to be in the police helicopter, that's pretty cool for
Had his own
anybody.
desk. I mean, he was in.
He had his own desk.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I hope he got to take a call.
Yeah, throw people in the back of the car and stuff.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
You may have heard of the Peloton. The
Yeah.
Peloton bike, which, I mean, the thing is silly expensive.
It is. I've looked
know?
into it several times. Does the price drop? No.
Yeah, no. And then they have an app. So there are some people here's a hack for you, okay? And there's a video game that goes along with this now. But here's a hack for you. If you get a normal, well, I say normal. If you go on an Amazon and you find a bike that's $400 or less, and then get the Peloton app, then you've got the Peloton, because the Peloton app is a lot cheaper than just the full-fledged Peloton bike. And yeah, you can do that. They do have an app that's available in all these different workouts. However, if you do know somebody who has a Peloton bike, they now have a subscription for a video game for the Peloton bike,
How does it work?
the Flywheel.
Okay.
And so there's this game, and you got to try to keep the tire on this thing for this video game.
Okay.
And you have to either speed up or slow down, or the tire falls off the thing, game over, or you've got to start over again.
It feels like Guitar Hero looking at it, sort of like.
Kinda, yeah. If you look at if you see the screen and you Google this thing, or we'll have it for you on His Radio TV, so you'll be able to see it later in the video replay. But it does kind of have that vibe if you've ever played Guitar Hero.
Yeah, where you see the guitar strings and the notes kind of show up. That's almost what it looks like. But you're riding your bike, you're getting your workout, but you're trying to beat the game, sort of.
Exactly, yeah. And you speed up or you slow down, and it gives you a great workout. So, some people who like video games and like to work out and have one of those Peloton bikes, because there's a small subscription to subscribe to the game.
I'm going to go on Marketplace, see if I can find a Peloton. I can't afford it any other way.
Yeah, well, hopefully they're under $400. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, that was a joke.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.